Hello, Scorpio, and welcome back. So, let's see where to start. It does kind of feel like whenever you turn around, right, and you perceive the one or the ones, I want to say the one that is not in the picture anymore, there's this moment of like it's almost like wanting to like fold up within yourself. There is a moment here where there's like a sense of self-consciousness that happens when you turn around and you perceive the one that is, you know, gifting you with their admiration. You thought that they were out of the picture, and yet they're standing right behind you. So there's kind of this sense that this connection, it's coming through as like you've grown, because it's almost like you've grown past this connection. That's the feeling that I'm getting right now, is that you have you have lifted yourself up, from you've lifted yourself up from the Five of Pentacles. Luna just walked in. So you've lifted yourself up from the Five of Pentacles, and in doing so, that connection of yours, the one with whoever this is, has, well, it's faded, right? It's faded into the background, and because of that, it's like they've also faded into the background. Give me 1 second. Let me just close this door. Okay, apologies. All right, so it's like as you've grown up and you've moved forward, it's like this connection here, while still very much, it's still very much established in your heart. You can still feel um, kind of like the pull of their energy, which is kind of giving me a sense of that either they're not present and you can feel them in the space with you, like looking back in the past and feeling them, or it's like you haven't seen them in a very long time, and so it's like, and then they're showing up. So it's one or the other. It can be presented as like actually physically in your life someone showing up, or it's almost like mentally looking back, right? So their presence has definitely faded, right? It's faded into the background for you. But what's interesting here is that, they're presenting themselves as the Page of Cups. Hi, Luna. They're presenting themselves as the Page of Cups, while you are this Page of Wands. So it's signifying for me that you guys are actually very similar in your progression, because you're both presenting as pages. So even if there is kind of a sense of like that connection has been outgrown, or almost I'm too old for that, or I've got more serious things. I've got more serious things to focus on, right? With the Six of Wands. Luna, you're messing up my cards, baby. Um, you're actually presenting in the same, almost like the same class. So it's like you could be the same age, or on the same, um, or having the same development, even in that separation, because I'm definitely seeing that Five of Pentacles as like you guys have been separated for a little bit, because it doesn't seem like they're in your life right now, or at least they're definitely reappearing. So, Luna, my love, I love you dearly, but you're messing up with these cards. Okay, so we're starting the reading off with the Seven of Pentacles. And this is showing up as you kind of, it's like you turned around, you saw them, you know, you're kind of going through this, through the mental motions, if you will, of being grateful for where you came from, right? And then what's happening here is like when you turn back around to kind of move forward, it's like you've been hit with, it's almost like you're at a standstill right now, because whereas your pathway was very clear, it's something about their presence is bringing up a lot of things that you need to kind of like filter through. You need to go through it. Oh my goodness. What is that? Hang on one second. So sorry, we have a lot of distractions going on right now. So, like I was saying, what happens when you kind of turn back around and you become focused again on, speaking of which, me becoming focused again on this reading, you become focused again on the path forward, kind of like your new destination, your new path. It's like they're putting something in front of you that's causing you to like like analyze what you're taking forward with you. It's like there's a filtration or there's some type of readjustment to how you move forward once their presence is known. And they're showing up again. It's very interesting. They're showing up here as this King of Swords, and I'm saying it's them because it's like they're pictured here with all of this purple, all this purple energy. And if you've been watching the readings, the King of Swords has been coming up. It's definitely been a thread in the readings. It's been coming up with like a selection committee or some type of filtration process that's been weaving itself throughout all of the signs. And so for you, it's being presented as kind of like that same type of idea, like having to reevaluate the Seven of Pentacles talks about your investments, having to reevaluate your investments in, okay, here we go, having to reevaluate your investments in this Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups talks about the past. And so, you know, it's very interesting that you are very much in a mindset of moving forward. You know, there is a moment here where you're glowing, right? You're on center stage, and you've got so much support around you. And then you turn around and you see this one that has been out of the picture for some time. And, you know, they're also sharing their support, and they're also presenting to you this heart connection, right? So it's kind of like in this present moment, looking back at the past and being thankful for it, because you wouldn't have gotten to where you are now if that had not occurred, right? So what's happening here in this time, in the you know, the extended portion, is you're kind of like it's like you're deciding what you want to bring with you into the future. What past things do you want to bring with you into the future? Do you want to bring, right, this connection? Do you want to bring this connection with you into the future? Because it seems like they've just showed up. It does feel like there was some type of separation, and I'm actually not getting any romanticism out of this. This actually, it feels more like either kind of like siblings that are very similar in age, or like friends, like two friends that grew up together. And of course, as we all do, you take different pathways, and some pathways put you down routes where you are like separated in a sense. So it's like it's coming through as kind of like that, especially with this 1111, um, the Six of Cups. It's bringing up kind of like friends, or somebody that you grew up with, like showing up. And analyzing whether or not you're willing to like invest in, I guess, their presence. Are you willing to invest in their presence? Their presence, like, in your life. Like, are you willing to bring them back into your life? Because it's like, if you were to do so, because you do have that connection, that intrinsic heart connection between you two, it's like you would be bringing them forward with you. Or it's almost like they would be following behind you. Almost like recording. It's like they're recording your pathway forward. And so it's bringing up, do you want them to, this is interesting because I'm seeing here this raven here. And the raven can kind of talk about like news. It's almost like they're like a news anchor or something like that, something along those lines. Like they record the happenings, right? If there's a parade or something, they would be the one that's like taking the pictures, things like that. It's like, are you willing to have them come along with you? It's kind of presenting as a posse. It's very interesting. But you both are very similar. Like while you might not think that you're kind of on the same level, it's like you are on the same level. You're just in two different suits. So I feel like that's because it's like you're kind of you're in a space where you don't necessarily want to bring the past forward with you, because you don't want it to drag you down with the Seven of Pentacles. You don't want it to be a investment that's you don't want it to be an investment that's not worthy of investment. But what I'm feeling into here is that you guys are very very remarkably similar. It's just that you're in two different suits. One of you is in the wands and one of you is in the cups. So one of you is very passionate, driven, got a lot of willpower and gusto to move forward, and the other one, well, that's you, and then they are more like emotive. they have a tendency to see deeper within like situations. They're very heart focused. They're driven by their heart, whereas you're driven by your passions. So while you might think that you two are like that they might be stuck in the past, you know, they're still in this Five of Pentacles. Like they are, you see what I'm saying? It's almost like you might feel like they might waste your time. It's like you're very much in through the cards. It's like I'm seeing that you're very much in the same place. You might in a sense be like it's coming through as like maybe one step ahead, which kind of makes sense because if you're in this page, you know what I mean, and they're the ones that's following behind you, like taking pictures, if you will. They would be one step behind you, and that's being presented here as well, because it's like you're presenting as the Six of Wands, and they're presenting as the Five of Wands. So it's like they're one step. It's like they're one step behind you. It's just one step. So we're moving into the Six of Swords. And this Six of Swords talks about actually like moving away from the things that cause you stress, moving away from mental stressors, right? And you know, the way that this Six of Wands here is looking at the Six of Cups, it's like you're viewing the past as a mental stressor. So it's like you're viewing their presence as a mental stressor, which, you know, is coming through. I mean, it's coming through in your body language because it's like you were so open and expressive, and then all of a sudden it's like you've shut down in this world energy. You've become like self-conscious. Their presence makes you self-conscious. There's something in that. There's something in that. It's like because they do have the ability to see the depths, and they are following behind you. It's like they're seeing. It's almost because they're acting as a filtration. So they are supportive. So they're wanting you to get to your best, like the best version of yourself, and in doing so, it's like it's bringing up things that need to have a closer look. They need to be examined. So it's a reaction. This reaction to their presence is bringing up what in the world? The reaction to their presence is bringing up, hang on one second, so many distractions. Okay. So it's like when I'm in the readings, it's like my life literally reflects what's going on in this. So it's like I've talked about it before, about it being like a almost contextualizing the message. It's like I experience this stuff so that I can contextualize the message for you, Scorpio. And so in this instance, what their presence is bringing up something that needs to be let go of from the past, and that has to do with some type of self-consciousness, something that makes you fold within yourself, You know, and the bridge here, of course, is that white owl. And so it talks about learning something new, learning something new about yourself. It has something to do with maybe a little bit of self-consciousness, because wherever you're going next, you know, you're at this parade right now, but wherever you're going next, it's like that element cannot be included in your manifestation, because we have you presenting here again as the magician. So with you presenting as the magician, it's like you don't want to include any type of intention or energy that is going to either cause the manifestation to have to go through this, is it worth it, to have to go through this process again. You want it to be, it's almost like you want it to be clean and seamless. And in order for that to happen, it's like that portion of it needs to be, that portion of like the self-consciousness needs to be kind of like nipped in the bud type of thing. Because where you're going next, you know, where you're going next, it's like there's going to be a lot of eyes. So you're going to have a lot of attention and eyes focused on you. And if that attention is focused on you and you're presenting yourself in a very like shy, modest, like humble type of, it's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve you, and it's not going to serve the manifestation. I'm like almost okay, so it's not going to serve you or the manifestation, and so it needs to be let go of. You know, and I often talk about this world card. I talk about, like, you know, when people see this world card, it's kind of like, who is she? There's a lot of piqued like curiosity about, like, oh wow, who are they? They're new on the scene, you know? So it's like, in order to present yourself in the best light in this new scene, wherever you're going next, this new manifestation, it's like their presence is bringing up whatever that is that you need to kind of like cut out. And what's interesting here is that you might actually find that they leave the picture again, because we've got those flowers here, these flowers that are outside of the framework. So it's almost like they're just showing up to kind of, they're just showing up to teach you something. Okay, Scorpio. My apologies for all the interruptions. I bid you adieu. Have a good one.